Screaming. I hope it's happy screams.
Okay, well, y'all, we're gonna be real.
This meet is being recorded.
You've got kiddos and all the things. I'm gonna, Aubrey, I muted everyone, so you'll have to unmute yourself again. But for those that are here or those that are watching the live stream or maybe even the recording, I'm glad you guys are setting aside some time. You guys know we love doing these calls and just bringing in people that have walked the walk, have been through the hurdles, have done the things, and have still been able to create just a fantastic just not even just business, but community and just the opportunity that this brings to each of us and helping people and helping ourselves. We love it. So we have Aubri. Guerin is how you say your last name, right? Okay, I was working really hard on that one because I was butchering it before. But Aubrey's a diamond, and I love this lady. So I actually got to know her through Vicky Flanagan, who has done some of our calls in the past, and they are like a power partner duo. But Aubri, I love you're always like the first one to jump in and take charge. If people are like, hey, we want to do this for our community, you're like, I'm there, I'll organize. She has been organizing all of our stuff that we've been doing with the training calls that I've been sharing on recruitment this month. And she did our last series on the customer care. So love you, friend. I'm excited they get to hear from you tonight. I'll let you take it away. And don't forget to unmute. Yep.
Okay, so I have some notes. And if I'm looking off to the side, I'm either looking at them, or if I make a weird face, it's because some weird sound came from my mother-in-law's living room. And I'm trying to determine if they're having a crisis or not. So I'll tell you, let's see, a real short snippet of my story. First of all, Vicky and I are opposites in like every way, except for loving Jesus and loving plexus. But she's 6 foot tall. She'll tell you she's 5'12" to rule out the dumb people. I would never do that to people because it's not very nice. And I'm always having to remind her, that doesn't sound nice, Vicky. Anyway, but and I'm 4'10". So she's 5'12", 6 foot, and I'm 4'10". So we're opposite in that. And then I'm more the touchy-feely. She's the people person. I'll study personality. She'll study the science, but she's a big teddy bear at heart, though. So we do love our people well. I posted about this today, kind of. I did friends only because I kind of copied Jordan Roddenberry's post. So some of you might not see it because I didn't want Jordan to see that I copied her post, but I wrote a little snippet at the beginning about me. Anyway, my husband was the one that wanted to try plexus. He saw Vicky posting about this pink drink that was helping her lose weight. And my husband is always all about what is a quick lose weight, eat cheeseburgers plan that I can have. He was a youth pastor for 20 years. Now he's youth pastor and main pastor because our pastor passed away. It's kind of like a tongue twister. Anyway, but he wanted to eat. He wanted to lose weight. I was like, I'm a certified public accountant, honey. I'm a professional. I don't do things like network marketing. So you can have it, but I'm not touching it. So I ordered it for him, and very long story short, she put me in this, now thinking back, it's this like, it's a hot mess group of people sharing their stories. And I don't even know how it helped me, but I started reading the stories. Plug for a testimony page. I started reading the story. I was like, okay, so these people are either groupthink like 1984 style, or this stuff actually works. Still bordering on the groupthink because, psychology, it's my thing. And I'm like, I think these people are brainwashed, but they believe it. So maybe there's something to it. And I tried it. And within the first week, I felt better. I was one of those people that never pooped. I was one of those people that had a daily headache. I had gone to doctors. Nobody ever thought to ask about my diet, which was literally carbs and coffee all the time. I'm that person still that if somebody sees a coffee meme, they send it to me because I love coffee. But now I do drink water that's not just in my coffee sometimes. But nobody asked about my diet. And the second I started the pink drink, all of a sudden my blood sugar started balancing, and go figure, after like 10 years of carbs, I didn't have a headache. It was crazy. Anyway, so I did actually start losing weight. People noticed. I noticed. I was excited about it. I still was very, very, I don't want to sell this stuff because I'm a professional. These things are always scams. Real people don't do this. But I needed money. So I started sharing, and then I started learning, and it was a long ride. a lot of the things we did in the beginning, I know Kendall talked about y'all have systems now, but y'all didn't always have systems. And we didn't have any systems. We got to Diamond the first time with no systems. I mean, we had a few systems, but not like good systems, and not even people that wanted to keep working. So they're like, oh, getting to Emerald was fun, but now I don't really want to work anymore. So now I'm getting back to Diamond, and I'm like steady Sapphire at the moment, but we're building back to Diamond through systems and duplication and actually learning the 4 pillars. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But real quick, I want to ask you, who has earned Leaders Retreat? Raise your hand if you've earned Leaders Retreat. Awesome. I really wanted nobody to have earned it because
Well, we have a few that aren't even here that have.
awesome. Well, honestly, I wanted you to say you haven't earned it because what I want to tell you is it's still so possible. Like, I know you hear Genevieve say, it's still so possible. There's still so much time. And you're like, shut up, Genevieve. I know you could do it, but I don't know how to do it. So just be quiet. But I want you to know that I've looked at the numbers. See, I was a CPA and I do understand the numbers, but I also understand people. And I want to tell you that I looked at the numbers and it's so doable for anybody to start wherever they are tonight and earn Leaders Retreat. And the way you're going to do that is through duplication, especially since all duplication this month is tripled. I looked at it, and did you know that by developing a silver, you would get 90 credits this month? Yeah, I saw somebody's eyes go, but wait, there's more. By developing a senior silver, you're looking at 210 credits, I think, if I remember the right number. That's not in addition to the 90. That's a total that includes the 90. But 210 is still a lot. That's a fourth of the way to the 800 that you need for the buddy ticket, which counts as getting on the boat. Okay. Now, if you happen to develop a silver and a senior silver, that just grew your team by like 50, 75, 70 points, 65, 70 points. Well, what if you re-ranked gold? What if you re-ranked senior gold? You're going to get another 200, 210 or 240, 270 points, I think. I think re-rank gold is 210. And I think re-rank senior gold is 270. I think. I'm not positive about that, but I figured out, I remember this number because it's almost 666, but it's not. If you developed a silver, a senior silver, and re-ranked senior gold, you would have 660 credits. Now, if you're just getting started and you developed a silver, a senior silver, and ranked up to gold or senior gold, you're looking at 600 credits. Anybody can start where they are now and get to Leaders Retreat. And I promise you, you want to get to Leaders Retreat, but you really don't even want to get to Leaders Retreat by yourself. You want to get to Leaders Retreat and have somebody on that boat with you that earned it, a buddy, because everybody you get on that boat, your team is going to grow exponentially in 2023 if you get them on that boat. So what I wanted to talk about tonight is duplication and the importance of duplication and kind of the snags that we get into when we struggle with duplication, because I've heard through the grapevine that I'm talking to a lot of really awesome recruiters. Now, I was the top recruiter in Plexus. Well, top 10. I was in the top 10 for like 3 years. And the years that I'm not, it's just because I didn't try. I can recruit and recruit and recruit, but it's exhausting. You cannot recruit your way. I mean, you can recruit your way anywhere you want, I guess, but you might want to kill yourself. Part of the point of this is to have residual income and to have income that works for you when you're on vacation or at your grandma's house in Podunk, Arkansas, and there's no signal. You don't want to recruit yourself. I don't even want a fast start gold that signs 17 people. Like, you need duplication. You need it from the beginning, because that's what's going to create freedom. And it's more fun. You need friends. You want to have friends do this with you. So anyway, but what I want to tell you is that duplication is going to be the key to success in your business and in Leaders Retreat. Okay, so a couple of the things that happen when you're struggling with duplication in your mind. One of the things is you think nobody wants to do this business. Well, guess what? You're right. Nobody wants to do this business. I didn't, I don't go visit the 6th grade class and say, who wants to grow up and be a network marketer? Like, nobody wants to do that. I didn't want to do this. I guarantee if you ask all the diamonds and then ask the sapphires and the jewels, you're probably going to get like 10 people that joined for the business. Nobody wants to do the business. That's not what duplication is about. Honestly, if you talk to somebody and they don't have previous network marketing experience and they tell you, yeah, I want to work this business, I'd be a little concerned. Cuckoo. Or like the only people that have actually told me yes, that didn't have experience, they didn't really know what they were talking about. They weren't even really people I wanted to work the business. They're like, sure, I'll work the business. And I'm like, I think my poodle could work the business better than you could. I mean, so it's okay that nobody wants to work the business because that's what your system creates. Your system is either making people want to work the business more and showing them how it's possible or showing them how it's not possible. So and if you have no system, you're definitely showing them it's not possible. Okay. So that's why you got to make sure you have a good system. And I'm going to talk about my system, and it may be similar to what you have, but not exactly. Go with what Kendall teaches you. Go with our system. Actually, go with whatever you're going to stick to. The magic of a system is not even really the pieces of the system. It's that you stick to it and you can follow it in your sleep and you can teach it to new people. Okay. So one of the problems that people have in their head is nobody wants a business. We talked about that. Very few people want a business. That's okay. That's normal. That's expected. And that's really kind of what you want. But then your job is to come in and convince them. I wrote when I was having more brain power earlier today, I said, it's our job to awaken that desire in them. Okay. And then the other thing that gets in the way is I don't know how to develop people. I don't know how to create silvers. Well, yes, you do. If you've ever signed one person, no, actually, let's go with 3. If you in your Plexus business have signed 3 people, then you know how to create a silver. And if you don't, then you have a big problem, because if you don't have a system that you follow, like if your plan for recruiting people is just, I go post on Facebook and people come to me and they want to join me. We have a lady named Randa Jordan who has like 400,000 Leaders Retreat credits because anytime she posts, she gets so many responses that she has to give some away to other people. I'm like, can she give them to me? I'll take them. But that's not a system, because nobody else can do that. So hopefully, and I don't see any of y'all's names as number 1 on the leaderboard, so I think we're good. But if my system is, I go post and people like me, so they order from me, well, of course I can't duplicate because nobody else can do that. So you have to have a system. In our team, we call it send, share, invite. I'm sure you know what send, share, invite is. I'm not going to go into the recruiting system. You can watch the recruiting videos, but you have to have a system. And I guarantee you, if you can recruit 3 people, then you can teach somebody else to recruit 3 people. And I'm going to give you some tips to help with that. Okay. All right. And Kendall, I told my team members your Zoom information. So we got one that hopped on in case you don't know who Ruth Ann is.
I see a couple names I didn't know. And I was like, I'm just assuming they're Aubrey's and hoping it's not some naked old man about to hop in here. So
I only know one of them, but not a naked old man. So we're good. No naked old men. That would be a naked child that came by. All right. So those are the mindset things that we're dealing with. Okay. Now, I told you guys that I wanted you to look at what you're doing on a daily basis. So did anybody bring a list of their daily IPA? Awesome. Okay. So I see Kelly. I see Kelly raising her hand. Kelly, I want you to tell me what you see on your daily IPA that helps you to recruit, helps you to develop silvers or duplicate. What's on there? And it's okay if there's nothing, because honestly, I expect there to be not much of anything, because that's kind of how I worked my business forever and eternity.
Well, I mean, the things that I do are duplicatable. So
that is true, but that is not the same as specifically focusing on duplication. And that's where we're going to go.
Okay.
Do you,
Having
yeah.
business conversations when I'm following up with my team.
Okay,
you know,
that's
or
really
new
good.
Mhm.
That's actually something that relates to duplication. So that's a good one.
Okay.
I really didn't do that ever, probably for a long time, because I didn't want to talk about the business. I don't really know why. I don't like to talk about the products, but I didn't, I mean, I'd much rather talk about the business than are you pooping? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So could we agree that now who on there has, like, I think that part of our daily IPA going forward, if we want to duplicate, has to be something like, and I say this, I'll give you some background real quick. I have a lady that was filling out her IPA sheets for the week, and she really struggles with focus. So I'm like the queen of ADHD. So this is funny. This is like the blind leading the blind, but I'm like, Lucy, her name's gonna be Lucy. Lucy, did you make your IPA plan? Did you make your schedule for the week or whatever? She's like, yes, I did this, this, and this, and this. I'm like, where's the list of people you're gonna ask to share? I don't have that. I need to make that. I'm like, yes, you do. Where's the list of people you're going to ask to have a party? Oh, yeah, I don't have that either. I'm like, because you didn't put anything on there that has to do with duplication. Okay. So that's why I'm saying that most of us, our IPA sheets, even the winning day, doesn't really specifically call out a duplication step. And so I want to challenge you, if you get nothing else out of this call, put in your daily IPA, ask someone to share. Ask someone to share. It can be a happy, I mean, most of us, especially if we recruited a lot of people over the years, we got a lot of people in the back office, we got a lot of people ordering, we can ask them to share. Between a new person or, I mean, I totally think, especially Monday through Friday, because that's only like 22 days in a month, probably, because there's holidays in there. I mean, there's weekends in there too, 4, 6, 8. So yeah, like 22 days. We probably could not repeat anybody and ask 22 different people to share each month. And if you get through the 22 people, then maybe ask somebody new to take a look at the business. But I really think just as much as, we say we do our 5 asks a day or our business, we do our product asks, we do our relationship building, we do our follow-up, our customer care. We've got to be intentional about asking someone to share. So that's a missing factor, I think, in a lot of people's arsenals. So, and then again, yes, as you're doing your daily IPA, I want you to remember, it doesn't matter if it works. It only matters if it duplicates. For a really long time, I signed people up via my personality. I can pretty much get anybody to do anything I want them to do if I work hard enough at it. I'm an empath. I know what makes people do what they do. I can convince somebody to order. That's not helpful to me. I can't duplicate that. And then if I have to convince them to order, I have to convince them to get the products off their counter. And that's really annoying. I don't like to do that. So you have to follow a system. If your people think, oh, well, she can do that because she's Kendall. Oh, well, Jara can do that because she's Jara. Well, I could never do that. It's not helpful. You're not going to duplicate. You are showing them from the very beginning that you're special, and that's why you can do what you can do, which is hard because I want to be special. I like being special. But in network marketing, you got to not be special. You got to make it so simple that anybody can do it. And I promise you, if you don't know what system to use, Kendall can help you, because I know she's super organized. I kind of want her to tell me about all her systems so that I can.
We have boards. They know we love our boards.
Yes. So if you're not using your systems, I want you to ask yourself why. Now, I'm not always using my systems, and it's because I struggle with structure because I'm ADHD and I don't like it. But I tell myself, but do you like silvers and do you like money? Now, you might not like money. You might like helping people. I also like to help people, but I also like money because my husband likes to spend it. Ruth Ann knows this. She can laugh over there. He likes to spend it on crazy things. But so at first, ask yourself, are you even using your systems? Make sure that as you're doing your recruiting work, because your recruiting work is what you're going to use to teach other people how to recruit. Make sure that as you're doing it, it is following a system. It is duplicatable, and you could teach your 7-year-old to do it, or your grandma. I don't know if you could teach your grandma. Your 7-year-old's probably a lot better with technology. So let's go with your 7-year-old. But so that's important to know. Okay. And then I want you to think about one other thing. This seems to be across the board a problem with duplication. And I just have to remind myself of this on a regular basis. Let's say that I'm your friend and I'm posting on Facebook that I am really tired all the time and I have headaches every day. And you're like, ding, 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 I can help her with Plexus. So you message me and I say, no, I'm good, thanks. Do you cross me off your list and never message me again? Probably not. If you're a recruiting rock star, like Kendall says, I guarantee that you follow up with people on a regular basis about the products. But we do this thing, I don't even know why, where we think that we can ask people about the business one time and they say no, and we can't ask them again because we'd be bothering them. When in reality, taking a pill is a whole lot less of an ask than starting a new business for which they never thought they wanted. So, like I said, if you assume that they're going to say no in the beginning, probably multiple times, that's going to tell you that you just have to be creative and keep following up with them, just like you would follow up with somebody about the products. It's even more of something that takes time for them to wrap their heads around than purchasing the products. And we invert that. We ask them, we follow up and follow up and follow up because we know these products are going to help them. Well, I promise you that this business can change more lives than the products. I promise. And if you don't believe that, I guarantee it's because you haven't been as successful as you want to be. But guess what? Susie, down the road, it doesn't matter if I've been successful or not, because Susie can put in her own effort. I mean, my upline, Vicky, she watched Jana and she was like, if Jana can do this, I can do this. It didn't matter what the heck Jana did. And Vicky passed Jana, actually, because it doesn't matter how successful you are. It just matters, can you paint a vision for them and can you show them? So if you are struggling with wanting to talk about the business, you absolutely have to watch training videos about why network marketing is the best industry on the planet. Kendall can probably help you find those. If she can't, she can reach out to me.
In boards.
Oh, wait, they're in boards?
They're all in boards.
Awesome. Guess what? They're in boards. So you decide right now, if you cannot walk up to a stranger in Walmart and tell them that network marketing is the best industry on the planet, you better go find those boards and you better watch those over and over again until you can, because it really is. It really is. And there is absolutely no reason to be ashamed about it and every reason to tell everybody on the planet about it. And the only reason most people don't do it and aren't successful is because they don't want to work hard and they don't have self-control and they can't be self-controlled enough to run their own business. They actually prefer letting other people tell them what to do. And that's great if you want other people to tell you what to do your whole life. But entrepreneurs, we're a different breed and we want to make our own lives. And we want to decide when we're going to work and how we're going to work. But most people can't govern themselves well. That's why network marketers are the best people on the planet, because you have to really grow to be able to govern yourself well and to have the freedom to serve others as much as you want to. So network marketing is incredible. You got to build that belief so that you can talk to people about it. Okay. And then you got to add something to your daily IPA about duplication. We talked about that. All right. So here's a real quick example of how to get anybody to silver. All right. When they first sign up, actually, before they even sign up, if they mention the cost, non-negotiable, you say, hey, the cost is such and such, but I don't want you to worry about that because we have a really simple, non-salesy system. And I help my customers get their products paid for. So it's not even a big deal. Don't worry about it. Okay, here's the price. That's called the 2-part conversation. And Kendall can help you with that. It's probably even in boards. If it's not, she can add it. But see, Before they even join, you're mentioning the business, okay? And you're saying, we have a simple, because it needs to be easy, non-salesy, because nobody wants to be that person, system. And I help all my customers that want to get their products paid for. So you don't have to worry about the cost. Just go ahead. You're good. Okay. Sometimes I throw in that they can make $300 real cash because they think it's like Stitch Fix and you just get credit on your next order. You can say it in different ways, but that's the basic premise. Super simple, non-salesy system. I can teach you. We can cover the cost of your products. No problem. Okay. Guess what? They sign up. When you onboard them, remind them. You can talk about it when they talk about their referral link. You can mention it when you're talking about their products. Remind them we have that super simple system. Usually when I sign them up, I tell them, hey, you need an accountability partner because changing your behavior is tough. And I can harass you, but you can ignore me. You need somebody that can help you. You need somebody to hold you accountable. Who can that be? Have that conversation. They may not be able to think of anybody. That's okay. The goal of that conversation is not to get them silver that day. The goal of that conversation is to get them thinking. Your goal is always to get them to get one person. Try different things. Ask them to get an accountability partner. Ask them if they have any friends. If they want to post, ask them to post a shout out for you. Try different things to get one person, because after they get one person, you can have the magic combo. The magic combo is, oh my goodness, you just signed one person. You made like $35 or $40. But guess what? If we can just get 2 more people that want to use your referral link, you're going to have, bye Ruthann, you're going to have you're going to have $300 instead of $35. Can I help you do that? What do you think? Can I help you? Can I help you try to do that? If you don't make it, whatever. But I mean, $35, $300 seems like a no-brainer to me. Okay. So your goal is to always just get them to get one, because if you can get them to get one through an accountability partner, through posting a shout out, through, hey, who's your ride or die people? Who does diets with you? My mom and I always did the cabbage soup diet together. Who is your person that does everything with you? You can get them to get one, then you can have the magic combo. The magic combo, hey, you just made like $35. That's awesome. But you know what's more awesome? $300. And all we need is 2 more people to use your referral link and you could have $300. What do you think? Can I help you try to do that? Okay. So when they say yes to that, you help them make a post. You probably have a process in boards. I might have sent Kendall my board with new member stuff. I copied it and was going to send it and then got distracted, ADD life. So I will resend that. But I mean, I've got a system where it starts with make a post, create a launch event. And all my people that have done a launch event have gone silver. And once they go silver, then you can, and we call them hostess referral parties, like Usborne and Color Street parties. That's what we call them, because that's what people know, and that's not salesy. So we call them hostess rewards parties. And I don't give them all kinds of extra rewards. Plexus gives them rewards. If they sign 1, they get perks credits. If they sign 3, they get a crossbody bag and $300. I don't have to give them hostess rewards, Plexus does, but I call it that because that's a word that they understand. Okay, so once you get them to silver, which I can pretty much get most people to silver by having a post and have an event, if they'll do any work. If they will send the messages, I give them a message. I am sure you'll have a board with all that, but I have one that I will share as well. And after that, then you have to have a conversation with them about senior silver. You say, hey, what'd you think about that? Did you like making money? Would you like to make more money? If they'd like to make more money, then that's when you can use some of the other tips in this gold toolbox that we made. Because what happens is we are decent on my team about getting people to post and getting people to have a party. And then after that, we're like, well, I don't know what else to do. They did a first post. They had a party. I'm done. Like, I don't know. And then everybody's brain shuts down and they just don't do anything. So I had my VA make, and I gave her a list and moved things around, but like a gold rush toolbox. And so like, these are things that can help you.
Put it up, Aubri.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. So like, these are some different things that you can do. Like, These are the recruiting new VIPs is kind of how to recruit your own VIPs or how to show them to create their own VIPs. And then current VIPs is things you can try to help your people sign VIPs. So some of it kind of overlaps, but it's really just a lot of ideas so that your brain, when your brain says, I don't know what to do, your brain can say, oh, let me go look at the Gold Rush toolbox. Let me see what I haven't tried yet. What else could I try? Okay. And then once you get somebody to silver, you just help them get somebody to silver. And then you help them get 3 more people. And you just do the things that you know to do, and you don't give up. And when it's hard for them, you don't say, yeah, I knew you probably didn't want to do this anyway. It's okay. You just ask them, hey, are you still wanting to make the $300? Okay, well, here's what we need to do. And you just keep working with them. And it's not hard because you have the system. It's more just making yourself do the things that you know to do and believing that you're helping them and not bothering them. I don't really know anybody that wouldn't be better off if they made $300. Now, if you feel like you're bothering them, ask them. I have a girl right now who was just messaging me saying, I feel like she's not very into it. Well, she's not going to be as into it as we are. Duh. I mean, she's just not. But she's like, should I just ask her? And I'm like, yes. You should just say, hey, are you still wanting to do this? How are you feeling about this? Are you still wanting to get your 3 people? Okay, great. Here's what we can do. Just ask. Not gonna, it's not gonna hurt anybody. But that's kind of pretty much what I wanted to say. Oh, Kendall wanted me to mention one thing to y'all. So back in June of 2020, I heard Robin Sullivan's story, and her point jump inspired me in May. And I told Vicki that we should go for diamond. Now, at that point, we weren't even sapphire. I'm like, I think we can double rank. And she's like, you're a crazy person. And so I said, listen, we have seen historically that whatever we have on the 15th of the month, we can triple that by the end of the month. So if we can get to 1,500 points by the 15th of the month, I think we should go for diamond, because 1,500 times 3 is 4,500, which is diamond. And she was like, what? She's like, sure. She said that because we'd never been at 1,500 points by the middle of the month. Well, guess what? We hit 1,500 points. Well, she hit it like on the 13th. I hit it on the 15th because she's on top of me. And I'm like, Vicki, we hit 1,500. That means we have to go for diamond. And she's like, because she really doesn't want to fail. And she did not see that it was possible. But there's this really cool story in the Bible about this man named Gideon. I would encourage you to look it up, because what happened with Gideon was he said, God, you want me to defeat these bad people? I think it was the Midianites. I don't know. They all put people's heads on poles and paraded around like a Halloween carnival with them, but they were all terrible. And he's like, you want me to defeat these people? I'm the smallest person from the smallest tribe. I can't do this. And then God said, yes, you can. So they gathered a big army. He's like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And God's like, wait a minute. You have way too many soldiers. This is not going to work. So he literally says, tell them if they're scared, they can go home. Well, guess what? A lot of them went home. And it got down to 300 people. I think that's kind of funny because there were 300 Spartans. There was a movie about that way after the Bible. But there were 300 people, and Gideon, God defeated the Midianites with none of Gideon's effort. All Gideon's people had to do was blow trumpets and break pottery. And the Midianites stood up and started fighting each other, and they defeated the Midianites and took the battle or whatever. And what I want you to know is that it's, especially on the 17th of the month, your goal looks impossible. That's okay. It's supposed to. It's supposed to look hard, because if it looked easy, if it was easy, you would think that you did it in your own strength. God doesn't like that, because that makes us boastful, and pride comes before a fall. He wants to show us that we need him, and that if it looked too easy, if it looked like we did it in our own strength, we would take credit for that. But if it's hard, if it's too hard, and if it looks impossible, but it happens anyway, then we have to give the credit to the person entity, deity that really deserves it, God. And so I don't care how hard it looks right now. I mean, I went from sapphire to diamond in 3 days. So that was insane. And there were lots of moments that I was laying on the ground, literally crying, God, please, you've gotten us this far. Help us get there. And we did, but because we believed and we looked for evidence that it was possible instead of evidence that it wasn't. So 100% believe that you can do it and know that there's plenty of evidence that you can. And it's not helpful to you to not believe anyway. If you don't believe it, it won't happen. But if you do believe it, maybe it will happen. If it doesn't happen now, it'll happen sometime and you'll be better off for it. So I went over, sorry.
Love it. I love the looking for evidence that it's possible. And this is something we've been talking about a lot lately, is really digging into training and like putting the good things in your mind, the belief in your mind, the listening to those, like you that have gone before us and have done it when you didn't think it was possible. And I remember,
don't even put up with negative. Don't even listen. If you've got friends that are telling you negative things, just don't listen.
Yeah.
Protect your brain because it will believe what it hears. And negative isn't going to help you.
Yep. And I told some, I don't remember which one of y'all I was talking to, but I was telling someone, it's like when you're, reading your Bible, the more you read your Bible, the more that's what comes out of you throughout the day in your conversations with others. You're more loving, more encouraging, more patient, more kind, all of the things. And, I mean, I don't want to equate plexus to the Bible, but sure. But the more you're plugging into
ministry.
Yeah, it's the more you plug into the resources that are going to build your belief and give you the tools and give you the training, which is all in boards, by the way, it's going to help you keep your thoughts in the right place. And I have so many notes from this, but I know you've got to get back to your kiddos. But the biggest thing,
laughing, she might be dancing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'd be hearing if she was ready for you. She'd be very, very vocal about it. But I love just keeping in mind, like all of these things you talk about, right? Like we have all of the tools and the details and the how-tos, but I love just remembering that like through doing the activity and having the conversations about sharing with, sharing the business and encouraging others to do the same, it's just increasing our impact because it's impacting people with their health. It's impacting people with their finances. And both of those are things that you cannot do without. And it's through us being diligent to get over ourselves and our fears, control these things up here. And if we feel like we don't know what to do, I loved your gold rush sheet with all of those different ideas. I was like, I love this. Under each thing, it's just different ideas. Because sometimes it's just when you don't know what to do next, you're paralyzed. And so you just and sit there
always
like, oh, I'm not going to ever have success with this, when really you just don't know what to do next and you need a reminder. So many great things. I would love to see your boards. That would be great.
Okay, yeah, I need to send that to you. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it, but you may have, and I may just need to dig back up.
I probably didn't send it.
That's okay. I'll snag it. But I want to encourage y'all. We do in boards. I mean, I've told y'all this before, but go to the training folder and we have it under recruitment, retention, duplication, leadership, social media, mindset. I mean, we have every call I listen to, I save in boards for you guys to have, because that is what keeps me moving forward, keeps me refreshed. Like y'all all know I had a crappy day today. And I know it's because it did not start with me plugging into, well, it started with me not having sleep and a puking child. That will do that. But also I start every day listening to a training call, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, every single day. That is what just starts my mindset in the right place. So whether you're showering, driving your kids somewhere, whatever, just put something good in to fuel you to get started. And then all the rest is going to work itself out. Your goals that you have that seem unattainable, especially now when you're like, oh, I'm running out of time, but there's so much time. I just don't know if I can do it. Everyone feels that way, even those that do it. Like no one can do it, so they do it. Aubri didn't know that she was going to go from 1,500 points to 4,500 points in 15 days. But not only she did it, Vicky did it too. 2 of them did it. And many other people have done it. And it's just the grit and determination and the believing in yourself. So I love it. I could go way more into all of this. Does
If
anyone
y'all have questions about anything, or like, feel free to ask Kendall and she can ask me. I would love to stay longer. I have to go, just to make sure that I don't have family that wants to kill me. But please, if you have any questions about anything, just ask Kendall and I'll answer your questions.
And I would love, you can send this to me, but you had mentioned you guys have a good system for kind of casting the vision on the business over and over again. I know obviously that Gold Rush sheet is probably a lot of the ideas, but you can send me that and that's something I can share later. But
Okay, and I sent you the new ambassador board too. And that's literally what I created to show what you do with a new person that wants to work. And as far as casting the vision, let me see what I got.
love it.
Mostly just having it in every conversation and the 2-part conversation and actually having it. I find that people don't actually say it over and over.
Guilty.
I don't always either. And I don't even know why. Like, I think I just get distracted and forget. Like a lot of the times it's not even because I'm scared. It's just because I forget. So maybe putting that in your, like putting a note on your computer, who have I talked to about the business today? Like, and just reminding yourself, you have to do that every day. Like we get in our, we have our things we like to do. I would even say to create a new habit, like whatever you like to do that you do every day that you don't struggle with doing, put asking somebody about the business or talking about the business before that, and make yourself do the business thing before you do the thing that you do easily, thing you like to do. I should do that before I'm allowed to do my Wordle. Finley started doing my Wordle and she puts words in, but they're not right. And so I'm like, Finley, I only get 1 chance a day and you just screwed up my Wordle. But anyway.
It's the little things. Well, I'm going to start our stream on the team page. Thank y'all for who are listening.
And I'm going to log out, but y'all ask Kendall if y'all have any questions. Okay. And I hope this was valuable and helpful to you.
Yes, I love it. So many different things, but systems. It's all about that. So I love it.